Jack say whether or not he would be there?
He's not.
He did
gonna be
not
there.
I was
respond.
gonna say, I think he's camping.
I thought I heard,
So his
I don't think
trailer's
he's gonna be
gone.
here.
Oh, did someone already hit this?
Ah,
one?
yeah, I did, sorry.
Stay in your lane.
I know. I thought about it when I was pushing the button. I was like, I probably shouldn't push this button, but
It is fine.
George was all worried about not being recorded.
I was thinking, yeah.
It doesn't count if it's not recorded.
We're gonna start this meeting. As soon as I get my,
You got about 10 seconds.
I know it. Proceed. All right. Well, I think we could start this meeting of the Warsaw Redevelopment Commission. We'll start as usual with the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You got an hour every time you say that.
Yeah. Okay. How about those minutes from July 21st?
I'd make a motion to approve, since they aren't.
Oh,
real
okay, Bill's made a
thick.
motion to approve the minutes, thank you. Do I hear a second? Did
You
you?
need me today, don't you?
We need you today.
I'll second.
Okay, Mike has seconded, thank you. All in favor of approving the minutes as presented, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, new business, Jeremy? What do you got?
So we have a resolution, 2025-0801. This resolution has to do with the ongoing disposition property process for the Marsh property. So what you're reviewing is a resolution regarding the disposition as it relates to the Marsh property. In essence, we've done the appraisals. We have the two average appraisals. We have a publication that'll be advertised and a bid sheet. So going through this process to dispose of the Marsh property just involves an advertisement, open to bid, and open to bid you have to do X, Y, and Z, and it has the average price. Once that 30 days is up, we're allowed to do what we're doing now. So we did the resolutions that started the process, started that 30-day calendar. Now we're doing the advertisement and the bid so that we can finalize the disposition of the Marsh property.
Did Scott do this, or did our?
Oh, this is Baker,
Yeah.
Barnes and Thornburg,
Barnes
yeah.
and Thornburg?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
The good news is, no matter what happens, once you go through the process, you're done with it. You don't have to repeat it.
Yeah.
So even if, for whatever reason, we don't, the purchase agreement we're working on now doesn't close, we don't have to go back through the disposition process. It'll be done. This is very similar to what we started with the tech park last month. So once it's done, it's done. You don't have to go back and keep doing it.
Jeremy, just for the sake of public information, can you explain what is a disposition process?
It's what we have to do as a government to dispose of property or sell property. So that process, and it depends on, every situation's a little bit different, but there are statutes based on the Indiana code that require you to do these steps, and these are the steps that we're going through so that we can dispose of property. So unlike you, who can just put a for sale sign in your yard and the guy comes and you agree and he signs a check and off you go and off he goes, we can't do that. It's a lot. We have to offer it for bid, right? Which is in essence what we're doing through this process.
I think it's good for people to hear that we're
Yeah.
not just randomly
Yeah.
like you said, sticking a for sale sign out there, there are statutes and codes and criteria, and things that we need to meet
Yes.
to be able to do this.
Yes, and it's quite complicated, which is why you guys have talked about doing more outlots, and it's like, our process to dispose of property is so cumbersome, that it's not really worth us trying to play developer. It's better to get the property in the hands of developers, because it's easier for them to dispose of and create new development than it is for us. It's just the statutes that we have to follow are so cumbersome and so not developer friendly that we are not the best developers.
Okay. So this minimum offering, 1.5, does that include the coffee business?
Yes, yeah, so we're going through the disposition property for all of it,
Okay,
or the disposition process for all of it.
the whole thing.
So, but we can dispose of it in different, so we'll dispose of the marsh as it exists and the outlot as it exists. But the process we're going through will allow us to dispose of all of the property.
So does this disposition process open it up to anybody who might see fit to come in and make a bid?
Technically, yes,
Okay,
but they would have to meet the requirements.
and that was my next question, because the requirements are very specific.
Yes. And if they don't meet that requirement, then they would not be able to put in a bid, or we could reject the bid. So in most of the cases, all of the cases, we'll create this advertisement, it'll go out, we'll get no bids, no offers, and then we'll be free to dispose of the property per whatever purchase agreement you approve, with whom you approve it. I mean, I would love for someone to come in and offer me 1.523 million, but that's not likely to happen.
Just being devil's advocate, and if somebody did that,
They would have, as long as they met the requirements, then we could choose to accept the bid.
are those requirements changeable? Are they negotiable?
They are not.
Why do we have to have that if, just educate me, why do we have to have that if we're just going through the disposition process? We're jumping through the hoops to sell it, now we're looking for someone to sell it to. But we've limited ourselves to whom we can sell it.
Reason we do that is because in doing so, we control who we dispose of the property to. If we were to just open it up for disposal in general, which we could do, then we would have no control over who gets the property. If whoever's the high bidder would come in and throw $1 on the table and say, here it is, give me my property now. Like, no, we're not going to sell it to you for $1. So you're controlling the parameters of how you dispose of the property. The downside is it's a very tedious process in doing so.
Being in banking, you probably understand all
It's just going through the steps you have to go through, and
that. That part I get.
Yeah, and we could open this up to a bid, right? Like what you're suggesting, but then you leave yourself open to whoever comes in and bids on the property.
And you would have to sell.
You would have to go by the statute, and the statute does set some parameters in addition to what's in here. Like, we've added some parameters, right? But the statute does set some standards. So in essence, you would have to sell it if they met the statutes as outlined. So, and I think it's like you can accept bids up to, so if the appraised valuation was X, I think you can accept bids up to 10% below that, or there's a percentage below that you can accept, but they have to be at or above that in order for you to accept it. So we could We could probably get away with just advertising this at the 1.532, because no one's gonna pay us $1.5 million for the property, or not likely.
Okay.
But I do believe there is a percentage, and it's been a long time since I've looked at that, but there is a percentage of plus or minus that you can accept. But in general, you could not just sell it to anybody who would bid on the property without going back to the board to approve and advertising for less than its appraised value. They're basically protections so that I can't go buy property and then sell it to my brother for half the value, right? That's, the statutes are protecting the community against that. In doing so, that's great, should, but then it becomes really complicated for us to do projects that you want to do. Because a lot of times we're buying property that no one wants, or we're taking control of property that no one wants. And so even though it may appraise for $1.5 million, trying to get someone to buy it for $1.5 million may never happen. So then you would just be stuck with a piece of property that you can't sell for $1.5 million.
What's nice is we can incentivize it, you know.
We can incentivize it, which is in essence what have been trying to do with this property. It's sat there for, I don't know, 7 or 8 years now, and we're trying to incentivize it to get it back on the tax roll.
Okay. Right, and we want to do that.
We do.
And I assume that there are safeguards in place, probably not in this document, but on the lease. And if someone were to come to us and say, I want that, I'm gonna put in what these required uses are.
Yes.
They sign the lease, and then they don't do what the required uses are.
Yes.
We have recourse.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, honestly, out of all these I've done, we've never had anybody bid on. And the one property we took to a tax certificate that we did actually do a open bid for. We ended up, I think, only having one bidder on it, so that was challenging to get through that process as well. Because we're not usually taking control of very valuable property. We're taking control of property that needs money put into it to put it back into use.
I know we're all trying to do the right thing for the city. Am I the only one with questions?
Good questions, though, you know, and,
I just want to be crystal clear in my mind
yeah.
where we're going with this.
Good reminder to hear, have Jeremy explain exactly how it works, because
Yeah, and just keep in mind, this resolution is just it sets the stage for us to dispose of the property. We haven't signed anything to dispose
And I
of
think
yet.
that's important.
Yeah, so you're setting the stage, you're creating the offer sheet, you're creating the advertisement, or the right to advertise. You still, as a board, will control the disposition of the property.
Okay.
So this doesn't just dispose to whoever. It's just the process. So the advertisement, the bid offer sheet, it sets the form of the bid offer sheet, and it sets the advertisement. Everything still has to come back to you guys. Obviously, we're working on a purchase agreement, and I'll get that into your hands once we've refined that, but that is not finished yet.
any other questions?
Not from me. I think Jeremy's given me the answers I'm looking for. Anybody else?
I make a motion then to approve resolution 2025-0801.
Okay, we have a motion by Bill to approve the resolution.
I can and will second that.
All right, and Mike has seconded that. So I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
It has passed.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Yep.
Yeah, but thank you.
I really appreciate your taking the time to explain.
How about the agreement with the consultants?
So I have in your packet a professional service agreement with GAI Consultants for preliminary engineering study for County Farm Road sidewalk extension / trail. The contract is $68,500, and the intent of the contract is to do a preliminary engineering and review of County Farm Road as it connects into Eisenhower Elementary School, Park Ridge, Tigers Retreat, and then south along 200 as well, or along the south line along 200. Just looking at the cost, design, what it would take, red flags, utilities, working with the school to try to, the other side of it is including them in the design process, because the intent would be to create walkability so that kids can walk to the school safely. So they'll be a part of the process and what that design looks like, because ultimately at the end, I want the children to use what we're building, and I want it to be safe. So this is just kind of the kickoff start of that process. The funds will come out of the Southern Residential TIF District, so that's where the funds for this engineering study will come from.
So this is in the 3rd district, of which I'm the council representative. So
Yes.
this is a welcome project, because I'm up and down that road quite often. And I do see people walking even now without this. I think it's going to be really nice, not only for the kids, but adults too, because there are a lot of homes down there, and people like to walk.
Yeah, I mean,
After work.
obviously, adults will use it too.
Yeah.
My primary goal would be, we could build the path, we could build the trail, sidewalk, whatever you want to call it, and people will use it. But for the bang for our buck, we want the kids to be able to use it as much as possible. And so that safety has to be taken into consideration. So I met with Dr. Hoffert and some of his colleagues, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and went over the study parameters. And once we enlist them, there'll be a lot of field work that's done initially, but then when they start to get into the possibilities of what it might look like, then we'll bring the school back in to make sure we can meet their needs and to make sure that they can use it, their kids can use it
I
to
see
connect to Eisenhower.
in the assumptions part of this, that the whole project's going to be on the west side of the road.
Yeah, it'll be the west side. We might change that. Like, part of the problem is the west side is somewhat fully developed, so whatever we do over there isn't necessarily going to get torn out. Some of the east side is not developed, so if we were to do something over there, it's likely would get torn out again. It's not to saying that we couldn't look at it at some point. Ideally, we would have it on both sides of the road as it fully develops, but there's, I don't know.
You mean like go down, cross over, and continue down to the school?
Yes.
Okay. So you're going to have a crosswalk,
We got to have a crosswalk.
kind of like what they have out at Miller Field there in Winona Lake.
Yes.
Okay.
What that is what I'm going to work with the school to make sure that whatever we do, they will feel comfortable in using. What I don't want to do is build, and then they're like, well, we can't use it because is not safe.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think if my memory serves me, didn't you mention a crossover at some point? Am I dreaming that?
I don't know that we directly have talked about that. I
I'm thinking
mean,
of something else.
that would be a lot more expensive. I was thinking maybe like a Hawk system, where it would be a controlled stop
Yeah,
somewhere wherever the crossing is. It could cross right in front of, or right at the entrance of the school, could cross a little north. I mean, those are all the things that I think the study will help us evaluate. Because we do have a stop sign, but we're not, it doesn't, we couldn't take, we could, but no one's going to walk all the way down to 200, cross, and then walk all the way back up to the school. I mean, that's not reasonable to assume that anybody's going to do that. Now, the challenge is going to be, you do have a stop, four-way stop there, and then wherever you put that,
200.
200, wherever you put that crosswalk is potentially another stop. So you would stop and then go and then stop. So those are the things that the study is going to look at. Ideally, you would take it in where the entrance is, but if there's some issues there, we could take it a little bit further north and still, so that you would come down into the school maybe. But those are all the things. And that's why we
Right.
have them, and they'll look at the right of way, they'll look at all the utilities, they'll look at the grades. You know, what are all the possibilities. We'll have some preliminary designs, which we'll have the school look at and review and make changes and so forth. So as it evolves, that's what this contract will do, is to create that preliminary project. Now, it's not a full engineered, it's just going to create the idea, the parameters, and look at all the red flags and get cost estimates. And then once we have that, then we can start to fit it into our project schedule. So it's not something that's going to happen tomorrow, but something that's much needed and wanted to get underway.
It is needed. It is needed. A lot of people live down there.
Yes. Yep. I think it was
Yeah.
really nice.
Housing's
You'll be connecting two churches, the school, and then a handful of subdivisions, because technically Eisenhower, Pheasant Ridge, Park Ridge, what's the one? Eagle Crest. You can connect all of those subdivisions into this walk, so they would be able to walk through their subdivisions and connect into the walkway.
It makes sense to the west side, obviously,
Yeah.
with all those houses already.
You're going to have to cross at some point. So eventually I think we'll have something on the east side too. But initially the west side makes more sense to have funnel everyone into the west side and then have a crossing at some point.
I think there is an existing sidewalk on the east side, but it ends at the railroad tracks currently. There's a sidewalk on both
Yes.
sides down to the
Yes.
railroad tracks.
Yes.
And then the west side continues down past Pheasant Ridge,
Yes.
retired Tigers?
Tigers Retreat. Tigers Retreat has sidewalk, and that's where it stops. And we're going to pick up from Tigers Retreat and take it all the way to the school. The east side has two large tracks that are undeveloped. That part of that project will be completed when they develop, and then we would take it from there at some point.
And I imagine Dr. Hoffert's kind of excited about it too.
Yeah, they were they definitely liked the project. It's just a matter of making sure that it meets their needs and the needs of the children.
We have to jump through.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I think it's a great start.
Is that a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that, let me get back on track here. A second.
And we've worked with GAI quite a bit, haven't we?
Yes, they have done some projects in the past.
Yeah.
Nothing recently, but we have used them on
Yeah.
projects in the past. And
So you just need a motion to enter into an agreement?
yeah, we just need
With
a motion
GAI?
to approve the agreement with GAI Consultants.
Okay. I will make such a motion.
Second.
Okay, Mike's
Bill's on
Made
board,
the
he lives
motion.
down there
Yep.
too.
Bill's on board and
A
made
lot
the
of
second.
runners, and
So,
that would be well used, I think.
I think it'll be really well used.
Yeah.
So, all in favor of approving the agreement with GAI, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Yep.
Claims.
So we have a few. We've got 2 Indian American water claims for Marsh, 234.78 and 164.95. KDI agreement with Peak Med for 300. Times Union advertisement 73.79. Barnes and Thornburg 4,970 for the AutoCam work. Baker Tilly $2,008.29 or $29.90 for annual disclosure fees, and DLZ $2,490 for work on County Farm Road. Oh, the park, yeah, I was gonna say, they were not doing that. Airport Park, the airport park is what DLZ is for.
Anybody have any questions about the claims?
I just wanted to go through them because I couldn't access it earlier.
Yeah, I had trouble when I first.
I uploaded it
Oh, you did?
Hmm.
on my phone.
I'd make a motion to approve the claims.
Okay, Bill's made a motion to approve the claims as presented.
I'll second.
Thanks, we need you, Mike. Mike's gonna second that. All in favor of approving the claims as presented, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
How about other business?
Nothing at this time. Still working on a couple projects, and hopefully we'll have some more stuff that are, we'll definitely have a meeting, a second meeting this month, because we'll have some documents to do with the Marsh and AutoCam project.
Okay, and that would fall on.
It's at the 18th, 17th? 18th, yeah.
Have they been checking in the people that thinking about marsh property and?
Yes.
Yeah.
Weekly. They're keeping me on task. Unfortunately,
good.
some of it's out of my hands. I'm not the one that's writing the purchase agreement, so. But I did get a copy of it today that I will be sending to them. That'll start speeding up the process a little bit.
Yeah, they had to know the parameters of buying a property like that. You are.
Most don't. I try to tell them, but most do not
Yeah, I know.
understand how complicated it is for us to dispose of. Because it's like, okay, we want to buy it. Okay, well, I got to do this, and it's about 90 days. What? Yeah, it takes about 90 days.
Yeah, a lot of people just don't understand that.
No.
Yeah.
And and rightfully so. I get it. It's not done that often.
Yeah.
But yeah, they'll want to bring in a purchase agreement. It's like, no, just sign this. Like, no, I can't sign that. It's not how that works.
It's like that movie, It's Complicated.
It's very
It's
complicated.
complicated.
Yeah.
So that's good. Any other questions for Jeremy about new business or anything? I can make it today.
I'd make a motion, we adjourn.
All right,
Second.
there you go, first and second. This meeting is adjourned.
Thank you, sir. Jeremy, thanks for your
Yep.
explanations.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for.
Thank you, men.
Yep, so I have an hour and a half to write this before city council.
Uh-oh, there you go. Well, I'm glad it's not too complicated.
What?
I'm glad the meeting wasn't